The HRV Sport, the stylish SUV from Honda.
Behind us is the Honda HRV.
It's a versatile family SUV, not too big, not too small, and has sporty looks. And the Sport model retails for just under £28,000.
Our model is slightly more because we have pearlescent paint. You do also get things like 18-inch alloy wheels and full LED headlamps.
One thing you'll love about this one is that short shift 6-speed gearbox. It reminds you of the Type R. It really is that good. You can also get a range of engines and gearboxes too.
It does also look very sporty, I must say. Saying that, you're going to be taking a look at the exterior styling.
I am.
I'll be taking a look at the interior, the practicality, the functionality, and we'll both be driving it.
We certainly will.
Then we'll bring you our verdict on whether or not this is the car for you.
The first thing you'll notice about the Honda HRV Sport is this. This reminds me of the Type R FK8. It's not surprising, it's got a really aggressive look. You've also got this styling, and this is in keeping with the rest of the Honda range. The Jazz, the Civic, you know the script. Now when it comes to tech on this car, there's pretty much everything. You have LED daytime running lights, LED headlamps, high beam assist, rain sensing wipers, parking sensors, front fogs, and there's a lot of safety tech as well, including pedestrian detection and collision mitigation. The style that I mentioned at the front continues round here. It's more or less like a rather sporty body kit. It's also got the side skirts as well. Now you've got 18-inch alloy wheels with a 50 profile tyre. There's a range of wheels as well. You have power folding door mirrors. You can get blind spot detection and you can get cross traffic monitoring as well. You have chrome door handles and you can see these design lines. They make it rather funky. You've got privacy glass, this black B-pillar, and one thing to note is the door handles for the rear doors are here. Now this could be a little bit of a challenge for children, but I can see where they were going with the actual design. You can also see the sloping roof line and it looks rather funky. You also have all-round disc brakes with the front being vented. Stepping around to the back of the car, you can really see the raised ride height. Even though it has this sporty diffuser, you've also got twin oval exhaust pipes, reversing camera, parking sensors, LED combined rear lights, high-level brake lights, in a rear spoiler, and shark fin aerial. And don't forget, this is the HRV.
Stepping into the HRV is nice and easy thanks to the raised ride height. The doors open nice and wide and you also have grab handles. The overall fit and finish is of a very high standard. You have soft touch materials along the front of the dash, leather wrapped steering wheel, sporty shifter, and these red accents all over the car. It really lifts it, it adds a lot of colour. There is a hard plastic along the top of the dash, but everything feels sturdy and well put together. When it comes to functionality, you have all-around electric windows, power folding door mirrors. You can get the options that Ben mentioned in the exterior, things like blind spot detection. Down here you have your eco mode, lane keep assist, the button to turn off the parking sensors. On the steering wheel you have your media controls and your cruise control. You also have the controls for the fuel computer that shows range, economy and road sign recognition. You also have automatic lights with self-dip, they are also LED, automatic wipers. The infotainment system is of a decent size. You have the option to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You do get DAB radio, Bluetooth, sat-nav. It's nicely fitted into the dash, but it isn't the most intuitive system to use. An addition I really like is the digital dual zone climate control. It has this chrome bezel and all the buttons are touch sensitive. Your start stop button, the short shift manual gearbox that has a really nice feel, electronic handbrake with brake hold, and underneath the floating dash you've got some additional storage and USB's 12-volt sockets. You also have hill hold assist. When it comes to practicality, I've got lots of headroom and lots of legroom. I'm 6 foot tall, but this seat's set up for Ben and he's 6'3". All of the adjustment in the seat is done manually. You have reach and height adjustment in the steering wheel. The door bins can fit a bottle of water. There's the floating dash where you can put your phone. 2 cup holders in the centre here that have a funky design so you can adjust them as you please. A central storage area here for some change or your sunglasses. And a decent sized glove box. Now the first thing to note is Honda really know how to utilise space. Just like the Jazz, you have magic seats, so you can store plant pots or a bicycle in here. The seats just lift up and down nice and easily, and you just push the bar down to lock them in place. It's nice and easy to get into the back thanks to the raised ride height and the doors opening nice and wide. Once you're back here, I have ample legroom and ample headroom, considering this seat's set up for someone well over 6 foot tall. 2 adults back here is going to be comfortable, 3 children, 3 adults on shorter journeys. The fit and finish is very nice. You've got soft padded upper door cards, and the leather continues, which leaves a nice place for you to rest your arm. You also have an electric window and a door bin that can fit a large bottle of water. There's also a central bottle holder here with a 12-volt socket, mat pockets on the back of the seats, Isofix points on both the outer seats, a dinky little armrest. You can also fit your feet under the front seats. There's side airbags. The chrome accents lift the door cards, and the stitching and leather make it feel sporty back here, especially with the sculpting in the seats. It is worth mentioning, it is slightly dark back here because of the black headliner and the rear privacy glass. A panoramic sunroof would rectify this, or just don't opt for the rear privacy glass. Coming around to the boot of the car, you open it using the conventional boot release. There is no button on the key fob, that would have been nice to see. Once you're back here, you have 431 litres of space. Something that's nice to see is the opening itself is quite low, so it's nice and easy to load heavier items. There is a slight boot lip, but nothing that's going to cause a problem. The seats are 60/40 folding, and they do fold completely flat. Once they're down, space increases to 1,473 litres. Honda really know how to utilise space. You even have magic seats. Underneath the boot floor, you have additional storage in this tray. I also like the attention to detail, how Honda have sculpted the underside of the floor. The inflation kit is housed just in a little storage point here. There's also a 12-volt socket and tethering points. A nice addition would be some tabs so that you don't have to walk around to drop the rear seats. What's the Honda HRV like to drive? The model we have here has a 1.5 litre VTEC turbo engine and a 6-speed manual gearbox. This isn't the only VTEC we've been driving this week, is it, Ben?
No, but it is the only turbocharged one we've been driving.
If you're after a more sporty alternative, then maybe
a little more iconic.
Have a look at our review of the NSX. However, if you're after a more family-orientated, possibly more economical alternative, then...
Yes, yeah, now that's a good way of putting it, isn't it? It is a more family orientated, it's very sporty though, isn't it? And it can still pull 0 to 60 in, well, realistically about 0.3 seconds slower than the NSX, which is quite staggering for a family car.
Well, that's it. It's like the trim level we have here is the Sport.
Yes.
But with this engine and this gearbox, it definitely lives up to the name.
It does, yeah. It is a worthy VTEC, isn't it? Especially with that short shift 6-speed gearbox. It's absolutely staggering. It reminds me of the FK8 Type R.
Well, it's very capable of going around country lanes because you can rev to 6,500, so it's very sporty. But on motorways, once you're in 6th gear, it quietens down and the ratios are very good and it economises.
And you have an eco mode.
You certainly do. Once you get higher in the rev range, the VTEC really comes to life because you get that VTEC tone. What I love is then shifting through the short shift sporty gearbox.
It sounds immense, it really does. And it'll give a lot of cars a run for their money that really don't expect it. Especially on a motorway, and you put your foot down, it's got constant power, hasn't it?
You have over 180 PS.
Yes, you do.
Power from a 1.5 litre engine.
And that's it, the HRV's not that big, is it really?
Well, that's it, it's not that heavy, so power delivery is very smooth and there is a lot of it.
The other thing that I noticed about this car is, even though it's got a raised ride height, it still handles exceptionally well.
It certainly does, and only the most treacherous potholes and speed humps are going to catch you out.
Styling on the outside as well is very FK8ish in my opinion. All round, it's a very nice package, isn't it? You've got sports, you've got the gearbox, you've got the engine, and you've got the practicality as well. I mean, okay, it's not particularly big, but it's not small either.
It offers a very engaging, very sporty driving experience for a mid-size SUV.
But it has the looks to match as well, doesn't it?
The dials are nice and clear, you have automatic lights and automatic wipers. All-round visibility is very good as well. You've got large door mirrors, and the view out the back is nice.
There's also a reversing camera, isn't there, and parking sensors?
There is.
And there's the VTEC for you. As you can see, this car does not hang around.
The raised ride height also gives you a good view of the road.
It certainly does. Yet doesn't compromise the ride, which is staggering. That's what you want, isn't it? If you're going to have a raised ride height, you want it to, well, not enhance it as such, but still offer you a nice non-wallowy drive, and this does.
I was going to say body roll and wallowiness is only going to appear in the utmost spirited driving.
Yeah, exactly. On normal daily use, it will just sit nice and stable. You'll get a slight bit of movement, but you expect that in this size of car. You've got a decent infotainment system.
The steering also has a nice weight to it, very good sense of direction, and lightens up when carrying out manoeuvres. On high-speed motorway journeys as well, the steering weightens up nicely.
On more B roads, you will notice it is a tad bouncy, but that means you can actually feel the road. And it doesn't really detract from the experience, does it?
Well, I would say in this sport variant, you do have the larger alloy wheels, so...
and thinner size.
If you were after a more comfortable ride, then you would go for smaller alloys and a higher profile tyre.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a nice place to be. It's typical Honda, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's it. You expect this from Honda now, don't you? You expect decent economy, engaging drive, comfort, practicality, and some clever systems in the back. For example, what's the name of the one where the seats lift?
Magic seats, and they do fold virtually flat, so you've got lots of load space.
Exactly. Yeah. No, this is one of those cars that ticks all the boxes.
When it comes to economy, we've been getting 40 mpg.
Yeah.
Really, that hasn't changed however we've driven it.
No, it seems to be very strange in that direction, actually. It's really weird. You can floor it and it'll do 40, and you can economise and do just over 40. There's also a range of engines and gearboxes as well, and trims. Now when it comes to safety and tech, you've got city brake active system, emergency stop signal, hill start assist like Michael mentioned, agile handling assist which really does enhance the drive, vehicle stability, also collision mitigation braking system with pedestrian detection.
The sound system is very good as well.
Yeah, it's very bassy, isn't it? Decent mid-range and decent treble as well. Yeah, no, it was when we were driving back, the sound system kept us entertained for hours, didn't it?
It certainly did. I would add, though, the infotainment system isn't the most intuitive system to use.
Yeah, it's one of those as well. Plus, we found the GPS a tad challenging at points. It needs an updated system, really, more like the one in the
Civic.
Yeah, the Type R.
It's not that the functionality isn't there, it's just a little complicated. Overall, the HRV is a great car to drive, especially with this 1.5 litre turbo VTEC engine. It's very practical.
It's very comfortable, and it still offers an engaging drive as well, and has sporty looks to match and practicality.
The 2019 HRV Sport from Honda is dynamic and versatile. With a range of gearboxes and engines to choose from, our model comes with a 1.5 litre petrol VTEC engine and a manual 6-speed short shift gearbox. It goes from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 7.8 seconds and delivers 240 Newton meters of torque. The sports model starts at just under £28,000, and this model here is slightly more with optional extras. With its raised ride height and wide opening doors, the HRV Sport is a comfortable place to be. And it's kitted out with lots of options: leather seats, cruise control, parking sensors, high beam assist and pedestrian detection to name but a few. One of my favourite features is that the grab handles are above all doors, including the driver's door. The infotainment system is touchscreen and has sat-nav included, although you can upgrade to include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Another great feature are the magic seats in the back. Adjustable and movable for maximum storage options. Fantastic when you combine it with the 450 litres of boot space. With optional extras that include pearlescent paint, 18-inch alloy wheels and full LED headlamps, you have plenty of scope to make this vehicle your own. With a Euro 6 and NCAP rating of 5, this SUV from Honda is all set to take you wherever you need to go.